Welcome back to another installment of Fridays in the Field. I'm Ryan Murphy, and this is brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. We're on location at Miller Farms, located in Sioux County, Nebraska, literally just a stone's throw away from the Wyoming border. We'll be catching up with the men of Miller Farms, a third-generation farming operation located about 10 miles north of Henry, Nebraska. I'm excited to be joined here by Glenn Miller. Glenn, can you tell me a little bit about your operation?
Yep, we have cattle, a few cattle, cows and calves. We grow corn, dry edible beans, alfalfa, and winter wheat. So that's basically the operation as far as what crops and things we grow and sell.
And about how much land do you have that you're farming here?
Oh, we farm around 1,000 acres, split up between those crops. A little bit of pasture.
So at this point, what's been keeping you busy for the last few months as we're at the midway point of May?
Well, we've just been planting corn, getting fields ready to plant and things like that. Calving out the cows, which is virtually done now. So just prepping ground and planting corn so far. We will be transitioning into getting ready to plant some beans here in a couple weeks or so, probably. So that'll be the next thing on our agenda as far as that goes. Doing the canals the canals got water in it right now. We're able to irrigate. We've had some very beneficial rains in the last week or so. We are going to irrigate some of our alfalfa and stuff right now and go from there. And we have been in the drought conditions for so long. I don't know specifically here in Sioux County how bad it was, but over the last 7 days or so, we had upwards of 5 inches at the Scottsville radio station. How much rain did you get here at Miller Farms? We're looking at about a little over 2 inches here, 2 to 2.25 it looks like, and but very beneficial. Came down pretty nice and slow, hardly any runoff anywhere, and it was very dry prior to that, so it was very, very much needed.
And with 1,000 acres, it's not one man that can do it all. You have some help here at the farm. What do you have for assistance?
I have my son, Ross is here, and then we have 2 other employees too, so helping out.
So at this point in mid-May, is corn already planted, or are you still prepping for that?
Nope, the corn is all pretty well in the ground. We have one place to plant yet for a neighbor that we do just a little bit of custom work around the neighborhood, not a lot, but a little bit, and we have about a day's worth of planting on his place. It'll have to dry out a few days till we can get in and do that. Then we should be wrapped up with corn.
And then what is your timeline when you pivot to the dry edible bean planting?
We always try to get them started in the ground around the 25th of May. That can go on into early part of June, just depending on weather and how everything's working.
And a big difference between eastern Nebraska and western Nebraska. A lot of soybeans out in the eastern part of the state, but here it's more the pintos, the Great Northerns. What varieties are you planting here?
This year we'll be planting all pintos. We have grown Great Northerns in the past, but this year we're going to go with all pintos.
And as far as the timeline for planting those dry edible beans, is it going to be sometime here in May?
Yeah, we'll probably get started here the end of May, and it might take us a week or 10 days to get them in the ground and go from there. Hopefully we keep receiving some of this nice moisture we've got in the last week.
And with the alfalfa, you get multiple cuttings out of that, is that correct?
Yes, we generally get 4 cuttings, starting in 10th of June to middle of June, and with the first one, and then every 30 days or so after that for 4 cuttings.
And Mother Nature out here in western Nebraska is always throwing us a curveball. What are some of the biggest obstacles you face year in, year out with the weather that comes in your neck of the woods?
Well, sometimes we have late frosts this time of year or later, clear into the early part of June. Of course, hailstorms are never a good thing to a farmer. So those 2 things, and maybe some wind damage at times, but hopefully we'll have none of that this year.
Well, we're going to continue following Miller Farms this entire growing season, and next time we're back, we'll see if it's knee-high by the 4th of July for their corn crop, as well as to check in on their beans and wheat. As we continue on FNBO's Fridays in the Field, right here on the Rural Radio Network.